Hi everyone, it's just like 11:15 in the morning. You can see we're looking up this is the main tributary to the Loch Doon, which runs off the Galloway Hills, and Loch Doon is in front of us. So I'm going to head down to the loch. Even though the wee river looks quite inviting, but we're up here to fish the loch today. I've got my 10-foot 5-weight rod, and obviously I've got some. I'm actually going to be fishing the box of flies I just filled there. I'm going to be using is for the one I use for the monthly draw. So I'll replace the flies if I lose them, but a lot of people want me to fish her to actually use the flies. So I thought, oh well, I'm always scrimping and scraping to get 1 or 2 flies together, so it gave me an excuse to actually use the box. I'll show you the box when I start, after I've fished a wee bit of the flies I'm using, or even I'll put a picture up. I'll do it just now. So that's the box of flies I'm actually using. I actually get the daddy snatcher on the top, dropper in the middle. I've got a cruncher, the point, black cruncher, and then the point I've got it's just a basically standard dowel back in the point. So the tapered flies, tapered helps to taper the cast. You can see there's the loch there, looking good. Last time I was here, I couldn't see a foot in front of you for rain and mist. Couldn't see as the falls. I mean, it's a nice wee bay here. Certainly worth a cast as well. We're obviously late August. Still a wee bit early. The fish will be thinking about coming up the burn to breed. I think that's more in September time into October. The season finishes on the 6th of October for trout, so there's only a month or so to go. Well, just over a month anyway. A few daddies around. I've got some daddies. I've got the one I tied the other day there and filmed. I've got a couple of them in my box. So if I see them rising, or even if they're not rising, I'll put one on just to see if I can lift the fish. These wild brownies lift their eyes. I'm surprised at the amount of water it's actually in the... Well, I'm not surprised up here. It's always... it's not very deep here. You know, it's worth a cast though. It's always wet up the hills. There's a 30% chance of rain today. A few daddies around. I've lifted a few by walking along the bank there. Always best if you can get your flies into the ripple. You see, I'm using the 10-foot 5-weight, which gives you a good high back cast, which you need. See if there's anything in this wee bay. I'd rather get in towards the wind. Now if you get anything over 6 inches, you're doing well. There's lots of wee fish. It could be one of those days that it's all big fish, you never know. Just going to quickly come round here. Now there's lots of daddies. Now when you're up a hill loch, you've got to be careful. Blasphemous words. There's lots of holes, stones. Basically make sure you tell everyone where you are. You've got your, nowadays you can bring a phone with you. There's not much breeze in here. There's a fish rows out there. I'm not going to spend very long here. I want to fish the main loch. It's always worth a cast though. Yeah. The wind's died away. I'm going to spend maybe a good 4 hours, 5 hours, so depends. Just walking, it'll be a lot of walking more than, well, I'll be fishing as much as walking, like. So half my time I'll be walking, the other half I'll be fishing. Now it's gone right down here. I'm going to focus and get down to the main loch. It's always worth a cast. There we go, start to come on to the main loch. Looking at the way the wind's blowing, it's coming towards me. It's not just, it actually suits me being right-handed. It allows the line to get blown away. So it's because it's coming off my left side. Never underestimate how rough it is to walk along these banks. It's not easy walking sometimes. There she is. The cormorants out there. So obviously there must be fish about. They're eating the perch meal, they'll eat anything like. Wonder where to start. I'll just, well in front of me, as good as anywhere. So, lovely scenery. As I say, I'm going to work my way along the bank. I don't know how far I'll go. There is a road at the top. I can work my way up the field. You don't need to cast far. These fish will feed quite close to the bank. That's where the tend to be, so they don't need to cast to the other side of the loch. A wee quick cast quite close. The loch's a good height, it's really up, so it is. I say I will be trying a daddy on, because there's a lot about. It'll be a nice round. The points are great places to fish from, like off the point there. Same here, this is a good bit. Plenty of wind blowing, so ideal. It's a nice length of cast. You want to strip these flies back, and as I say, they're wild brownies, brown trout, and they do like to chase a fly. We'll see how the day goes. Now the caster I'm using basically straight through. I'm actually using £6 fluorocarbon, which is probably equivalent to, if it was nylon, probably around about, thickness wise, around about, if it was nylon it would be a lot more, but it's really fine. I use the full mill. One of the cheaper opener fish. Fish had a wee swirl at my fly there. Put it back out. It's quite a stiff nylon, and doesn't tangle as easy. It's not, you don't want too soft a nylon, especially when you're fishing 3 flies. Yep. Never even felt that fish, I've just seen the swirl. And then what you want to do is just work your way along. Basically fish in front of you. Some grass there. Well, not so much grass, weed. There's a bit of weed out there. It's weedier than I thought. I may move round off the point there. Now we've come round. Just off the point here, but this is good. Just guess. It's not quite close. I thought the wind was actually coming the other way a wee bit when it was down. When I'm down the bottom, it's slightly different. It looks different anyway. I'm looking at the other side of this. There's not like much wind here. You really need a wind on the loch. Well, I prefer a wind. Black cam is not the best. Just now that's a nice breeze. If I was on a boat, I'd be fishing along the bank, far side. Would probably be the main area. Oh, got a wee pool there, but it could have been a perch. Doesn't feel like a trout. We could always move if it comes to it. We'll fish along this bank anyway. We're not that far from the car, far enough like, but not far enough that I can't go back and move further down the loch if I feel it's going to be better. I've had nice trout up here though in the past. One of my best trout is actually up here. And we used to camp when I was a boy in the far side. We used to get some great trout up this end. Especially at night. Nothing. One wee bump. Yeah, that's it. So I say, just all you do is just keep working along. There we go. Must have heard me. So this is my first wee brown trout. So see, this is difficult. Wee fish for Loch Doon. To the dowel back. Beautiful wee marked fish. That's the first one. Good. So see, I'm going to just work my way along. I'm going to do a lot more walking, I think, or as much walking as fishing, and just try to find some fish. The last time I fished the loch, I actually walked 17 kilometres, whatever that is in miles, I'm not sure. But it was a lot of walking. Nice wee bit here. You can see how high the loch is, go right in up into the bushes, which should grow along the bank. So you don't cast too far. Unless you really have to, unless there's fish rising well out, then obviously worth casting to them. But hooking them is another issue when you've got a long cast. The further away, the less chance you've actually got a hook in them. But then it's better than not hooking anything, like. So vary your retrieve, pull it fast, slow. These fish will chase. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this bay. I'm going to want to get off the points where the wind is. So I may walk round. There we go. Wonder if it's a trout or a perch. Maybe a trout. It's a wee trout. He's about an inch bigger than the last one. There he is there. Nice wee silverfish. Oh. There he is. Oh, it's lovely. Oh. Well marked. He's got to fly down, so there we go. It's a lovely fish. There is my hook. The best way to get the hook out of these is the small trout 10. I will use a catch and release tool. Just slides down. And then he's away. There's your fly. The catch and release tool's handy. saves the fish. And obviously if you're debarbed you can get it out no problem. But as I say, these wee fish do go up the fly. While I'm doing this I'll just check my cast is okay, yep. Again, that was the dial back. It was a very light take that. It wasn't really, sometimes they hit you that hard. It doesn't matter what size they are. They give you a fright times. Because they seem to hit you. It's not about catching, it's about getting out, and all I can hear is water. I mean, it's just, get lost. Having a nice walk, a cast with a fly, and then the chance of getting a trout. Not scenery like this. Ooh. I mean, you want the hills over these at the back here are amazing. Like, you just can't see them at the moment. I may see them as I come round the Gallery Hills. We used to have walked these when we were kids for a bit of fun. Used to do it. Going to the scouts, as we would call them, the cubs. Oh, there we go. Another wee fish. Oh, he's off. He hit a wee bit harder, just a wee in, but again. Oh, there we go again. Jeez, that's a wee bit better. Got to try and keep tight because this barbless, so they just tend to jump off. This one's took the top dropper. They're getting bigger. There's a nice fish. He's. Oh. Just gonna let you see him. The nice, lovely colours. He's taking it down, so I've got to use a catch from this tool. Oops. So see, it's just going to mess up my cast. He swallowed it okay. And there he is. You were saying you should swim away. There we are. We'll give this 2 or 3 casts, seeing we've had 1 or 2 fish. Well, they've slowly got bigger. what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way around, reel in, and then come round to this area and work round. I say I don't know how it's like round the bend. It's oh, there we go. Another trout. Jeez, I'm doing well. Again, it's the daddy in the top. And again, he's much the same size as the last one, and he's taking it well down again. Jesus. So, I'll just let you see the fish. There you go, another one. God, you've no idea how far that is. Glad I've got my catch and release tool. You want to be using the small when you're coming for these, the smaller or medium. I think this is a midge one I've got. That's him away. Even though these are barbless, they swallow them right down. I mean, that's the way they're going to take the fly today. I'm not going to lose many. Well, that's three or four fish, I think, something like that. So there's plenty of fish around so far. So see, they're not monstrous fish, they're not big fish, and but they're good fun. They're wild fish, and they hit hard. You don't know what size they are till you get them in, really. And then there is the odd fish that's, you'll know when you get a decent size one. The splash is like amazing. And the first take really hammers you. And they can fight. Keeping them on's a problem half the time. Okay, we're going to say that was my last cast, but we're going to head round to this area and work along that bank and then round off the point. Okay, we've moved round just from this point here. That's where we got the fish at. So what I'm going to do is work our way around to this point. Looks quite good here. See if we can maybe pick up one or two fish. Not casting far, as you can see. Not at this point. I may fish with a dry fly later, just especially a daddy, see if I can, sometimes you can rise the bigger fish. Oop. It's sticky here. If you feel that the bottom a bit sticky, it's time to back off. You don't want to get, because it's a peaty water, it's wild up here, so you've really got to be careful. Always think twice. I mean, be cautious first. If you're not 100% sure, just don't do it. If you're not happy, then just. I've fished along this bank before. I mean, a few times over the years, but it's not to say I know every stone and every crevice in the water, but I've got a wee bit of confidence in fishing the water more than someone that's not. But the thing is, you're still got to be cautious when you're in a wild place like this. Look at a bump there. Funny bump, it was like a perch. Perch take it's like a slow, kind of funny draw. You think you're stuck, you think you've caught something, like a bit of weed or something at first. They're not as hard a take as a brown trout. It's a nice ripple that. Oops. The thing with these wee trout, they're always on the go. They're always moving around. So, a hot spot one day could be totally different the next day as they've moved on. The wind's changed. That's what happens. The other thing is with brown trout, wild brown trout as well, you can come up one day and catch shift one after the other. Next day come up again. You think there's no fish in the loch. It's what they do, it's what they're like. Oh, a wee dunt there. A wee brownie. My head round. Last time I was up I was actually catching on dries, so even though there wasn't much showing, there was nothing showing really, but the fish were willing to rise, so it's maybe worthwhile having a wee cast with some dries. If things get quiet, or just something different to try. See if we can maybe bring up even a larger trout that's willing to come up for a wee fish took there. Another wee dunt. Again, that was the top dropper. So they're really keen on that wee daddy snatcher. I may change to a dry end point just to see. I think that's what I'll do. See if I can lift a fish or two in the dry fly. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a hopper on the point. A green Peter hopper. It's a long hackled hopper. I like these. They sit nice in the water. You can fish it as a wet fly as well as a dry. It'll sit up. So we'll see. We'll give it a go. Because they're taking that dropper fly. Even though I've had a couple on, it was a dial back I had on the point. See if I can bring a fish up with this. It's a bit rocky here. As I say, you can pull this wee fly and it goes below the surface. So you can fish it both as a wet and as a dry. Oh, there you go. I don't know if it's took, the dry, or it's took. What's it took? Oh, it's took the cruncher, the first one, the cruncher. There we go. This time he's actually hooked lightly for a change. Oh, there's a bait. Oh, I've got two. Look at another one. Jeez. Two in the one cast. This one's hooked on the side. There's another one. Gosh. You get that as well. Two in a cast. So there we go. So I'm saying this was light times. You can fish fish for a wee while, then suddenly you get one or two fish. I did that in the river the other day there as well. A couple of fish in the one cast. And we're coming to this point, which I'm hoping maybe it fishes. It's always a good bit, especially around these rocks here. Fish. I'm going to get a wee bit further here because I can. There's rocks here that normally you'd be standing on, these rocks when the water's normal level anyway. Let's see if there's anything further out. It's a good area here. I thought we'd have one or two trout off it. I've got a long cast out for a change because I can. Just see if I can get some a wee bit further out. Oh, there's a first rise of the day, so there, a wee fish moving. That's the first rise. Try further over that way. No. We cast along the bank here. Oh, that was a good pull. That was a nice draw there. That's the first hit I've had off there. And you spend a wee bit, just a bit more time here, because it's such a good, it was so fishy, like, just they could switch on, you could get 2 or 3 fish. Oh, I wonder if it's perch. Oh, it's a wee brownie. Twice I had a go at me there. There he is. Again, he's taking the black fly, he's taking the cruncher where I've had nothing on it. There's 2 I've had, 2 in a row. Black fly is this side. Another nice wee brownie. There you go. Twirls your cast, you've got to untwirl it, as I say. Every so often you need to change your cast. But just to twirl round and twirl and twirl, kink your cast, you've got to unravel it. I thought for a wee bit there we weren't going to touch any fish off here, but it's worth it. We had 2 or 3 pulls. Mainly this side. So another wee cast off this point before I start to move. I don't need to cast as far as that when I go into this area. There we go. Oh, dropped him. He hit twice, that one. It was actually a wee bit better, that brown trout there. It was quite a nice one. Go. Another one. Just again, that's the top fly. Let's turn the daddy snatcher. There you go. Again, he's taking it well down. So here's a wee catch and release tool. Some away. tangled my cast a wee bit that one. He's spun round and round. So, well, I got my fankle out. Oh, gosh, that was a good fish. I felt a really good fish. Oh dear. Hope maybe it comes back. Jeez. Really did feel a good fish that. Well, really, is it maybe time to change a fly? Or maybe the point fly again. Black seems to be the colour on this side, so I may change to a darker fly in the point rather than the lighter one. I'll just see how we go. Red arrow in the point. So we'll see if we can put a size 10 on. Just curious to see if they take the bigger fly. It's a heavier hook. It's not exactly a 10. It's kind of in between a 10 and a 12. Because it's one of those grab gate type hooks. So. Funny size, as they say. The wind's changed, it's coming back off my back again. Oh, there we go. Ah. Away. Check my cast here. It felt like it broke. No. That was a decent fish. That was like a solid wallop. So it was. Just didn't hang on. Oh, missed it. Went back over. Yep, that's the first take for a wee while. Well, except for that one up there. But there's another lovely wee head and tail into the fly as well. Nah, not enough wind in this area. May have to work my way back. Just to fish off the points. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back over, and then I may cross the river for an hour or two. Let's see how we got on, but not enough wind down this end. Okay, we'll head round. Just coming back to this point here. Yeah. Bit walking in cement, I think. To this point I go again. Looks good. I mean, far better than around there, there's just not enough wind. Wind's dropped away again. So good exercise that. It's a good job I cycle. Easy. Decent enough legs. So I'll just head my way back round. It's no use getting calmer and calmer in there, and it just doesn't mix. The wild brownies, the brown trout like a good wave or a good ripple in the water. So do I, to be honest with you. It's a good way of pulling your flies through. Even now it's went really quite calm. If it does drop away even more, I may look at going further down the loch for an hour or so. We'll see. May get a wee bit. I know I can get right out here. Got a decent trout here. A decent something. Could be a perch. It is, I think it is a perch, yeah. This is the first perch of the day. Just watch for the spikes. Good size. There we are. A Loch Doon perch. Yeah, time to move, I think. Move to the next wee point and then work my way round. think I got the best of it earlier. It's a good job I came early, or early-ish anyway. It'd be worthwhile moving down the loch a bit. Just giving another bit of the loch a go before I finish. I think this will do. I may give where the river's coming in, I give a cast before I go up again. So it's just normally it's further out and you can fish right. I mean, because the loch's so high, you can't follow it out as far. Yeah, I think we'll move while we can. Okay, I've came a long way from the top end of the loch to basically the bottom, which is a fair distance. So, and what I've done is I've actually changed my cast from the way it flies. Well, I've got a daddy long legs on, and I've got a hopper and a dropper, and I'm just going to fish along here for an hour or so, see if I can lift a couple of trout, or see what happens. And just a bit of fun before I go home. Things are really quiet up the other end, so this is the wee burn comes in here. It's a good bit. I've had a few fish over the years in this area. I'd like to come in this bit here. I was planning to actually fish halfway up, but there's a lot of cars. There's a lot of cars. Where you park is maybe enough room for 3 cars, and there is 3 cars there. So I came further down. Water's a bit clearer here. It's amazing the difference from one end of the loch to the other. Oops, bad cast. Too busy looking at the colour of the loch. Well, that wasn't a good cast, I've tangled. No, it's fine. Anyway, the hopper I've got on is a kind of half a sub. It's a kind of wet fly. Can be easily ginked up for a dry as well. Even though I think I've only seen one, maybe 2 trout rise. Not many, so. There's a bit of cloud cover there. The daddy I'm fishing is a muddler. The one I tied recently on a jig hook. So I'm going to pull it just to see if the fish are going to come up. There's a wee island out there somewhere. Normally at this time of year you'd be seeing it. I mean, it's the loch's, how can I put it? It's not because, oh, there we go. Oh, he's off. Jeez. That was a nice trout as well. Check my fly. I think that tamed the wee hopper. It's controlled by a hydroelectric, so the loft goes up and down, up and down. With nature as well as man-made. They pump water from one side of the hill to the other. That was a nice wee brownie as well. That was good. Well folks, looks like it's us for the day. I mean, I've used not three batteries completely yet. I know it sounds, but it's a good hour and a half, or a good hour for each battery filming. Did a bit of walking, like, did as much walking. Yeah, check. I've done 21,000 steps, so whatever that is. It's a lot of steps. So that'll give you an idea of how much walking I've done. Just looking, just trying to find fish, moving from the top of the loch to the bottom of the loch. And I did well. I mean, geez, earlier on was great. Plenty of fish, plenty of takes every so often. And then it just died, it just finished. Finished off with the perch we landed. Missed that one when we came down for. Been down here now, what, half an hour, and nothing since. So I'm ready for heading home. Had a good day, a good few hours on the water. I've got enough. I'm sure I've got enough footage to let you see the water, see the loch. I see, I've been unlucky with the times I've been up. There's been not much happening. Meaning like fish moving. We've caught fish basically just fishing blind, nothing. If we come up here when they're rising, it's some place when it's rising. It's really good. But I've been unlucky, as I say, this year. They're coming up and there's been not much moving. And The day's been nice, it's been a lovely quiet day without, I mean, this, to be honest with you, sometimes you go up here and there's blowing a hoolie and there's, you think, oh, I'm not going out, you think you're not going to catch any, and you go out and you get a fish a chop, near enough. Fish are everywhere. That's what it's like around the loch. It fishes when you think it's not going to fish times. Or it comes on and off, like it did today. It was great at the beginning and then it just switched off. But that's what happens with wild brown trout. It just, you could, the next hour or two they could come on. I may try and come up for an evening. Just just fish the last 2 or 3 hours before it's dark. It's dark early now, so I think it's about 8:30 now, it's dark. But anyway, there we are. Well everyone, that's me. That'll do me for the day. For a good morning, good 3 or 4 hours, good fishing. And obviously it was better at the beginning. But as the day went on it's got really quiet, so that's sometimes how it goes. But I've enjoyed the day, hope you enjoy it as well. And I'll be back up before the season's finished, hopefully. As I say, it's not far away. Loch Doon's about, I can be here in half an hour drive, so it's not far. We just need the conditions. So there we are folks, that's Loch Doon. As you can see, it's lovely and quiet. It's amazing. I actually checked my heart rate. My heart rate at one point was, believe it or not, 40. My heart rate goes down really low. My average heart rate is 45, so if it goes down to 40 it shows you I'm really relaxed. So, or down to 40. So anyway, there we are folks, that's Loch Doon. I hope you enjoyed the video, and again, thanks for all the kind words and comments. And we'll be back. I've some days left on the River Doon to go. I'll obviously be back in the River Ayrshire, and we'll see how the end of the season goes. We've got a month and a bit to go before the trout season's by, and then we start tying our flies again, building up our stock for next season. So anyway, thanks again, until next time. Is the sheep going to say something? I think he's looking at me thinking, why am I talking to myself?